I want to welcome you to our YouTube channel. Thank you for coming alongside with us. If you have not already, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit the like button. Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear your feedback. I'd love to hear your input. Please add value to those who read these comments. So guys, let's get into this today. I'm super excited. I want to be able to paint a portrait for you today of what it looks like from the perspective of God, of how He literally saved the world. What does it look like? How did Jesus save everyone? Well, today I'm going to give you an example, and I'd love to hear your feedback. Let's go. This is how it's been rigged, guys. A husband makes an unbelieving wife clean, and an unbelieving wife will make her husband clean, and this is how their children are born holy. Think about this for a second. That's in the natural. Why? It's because there's a spiritual implication and reference point to that verse, and his name is Jesus. How in the world does a believing husband make an unbelieving wife clean? And how is the kids clean? Because, dude, she acting a fool right now, or vice versa. The believing wife and the unbelieving husband, she's like, my husband acting a fool right now, man. How do you make us clean? Like, you saying I'm clean? You saying my kids are clean? You saying this is clean? How do you do that? Why? It's because it's been rigged from the very beginning. Listen, Jesus rigged it. Jesus come on the cross to reveal it's been rigged by making himself a living example, the living sacrifice, revealing to us our created value from the very beginning. It's been rigged. Meaning this, let's do it from a spiritual standpoint. God is the husband. We are the bride of God, of Christ. Christ single-handedly represented all humanity on the cross and cleansed the unbelieving bride, making their children pure and holy. Now, let me take you a little farther into this thing. Jesus reveals it through Mary. Mary, she was born in the reality of the first Adam, sin in the flesh. Jesus has not went to the cross yet. God came into sin in the flesh. Think about it. The husband came into the sin in the flesh, and she birthed the perfect holy Son of God from the first Adam. The last Adam's seed impregnated the first Adam, and the first Adam gave birth to the holy Son of God. Just let that sink in. I know some of us may not have heard it like that, but just let that sink in for a moment, because I want to paint the portrait for you to understand what this looks like from God's perspective, that we understand when we're walking this out, we're walking it out from His reality. It's been rigged from the very beginning. All right? So Jesus is the husband that cleanses his bride, that makes everyone born holy. Am I saying there's not a place for confession? Am I saying there's not a place for believing? Am I saying that, hey, there's not an outside the gates? No, there is outside the gates. Revelations. There are unbelievers. There are people that don't believe. Like, right? I don't want to get off on that topic too much. Is there faith? Does it take faith to understand the salvation experience? Is there a confession? Absolutely there is. But when we're seeing faith and we're seeing confession and we're seeing belief outside of the reference point of Jesus, we're going to get tricked into the gospel of demons that literally thinks he can save himself through his confession. Jesus saved you, not your confession. Your confession is to convince you that Jesus was convinced 2,000 years ago. Matter of fact, was convinced from the foundation of the world. It's to convince us. Our believing in our faith really is to convince us. Think about this. It was the faith of the Son of God. Here's another perspective. The seed, the husband, faith. Where faith come from? Come from the Spirit. right? So faith is the husband. The husband's faith saves the unbelieving wife and makes her children holy. It's no longer I who live, it's Christ who lives. The faith I now live in this mortal body is by the faith of the Son of God. What is that saying? That's saying my confession is an agreement to yes Jesus to what he already did. I'm an evangelist, guys. I lead people to Jesus all the time. I am for praying this. I walk people through prayers. I lead them to Jesus. I do all of this stuff on the streets all the time. But I don't teach a gospel of exclusion and separation. I don't preach a gospel to them that Jesus only saves you when you decide to accept him from sin. No, I teach them that Jesus come while they were yet sinners in their own minds, in their own reality, and Jesus died for them. He rigged this thing. He saved you 2,000 years ago. Now repent, change your mind, and believe what he did for you. It's done. It's rigged. Confess Jesus as your Lord and walk out the salvation reality. See, walking out your salvation with fear and trembling is learning the reference point, number one. And number two is confessing in agreement with Jesus allows you to walk it out today as it is in heaven.
To learn more about Pauly and the ministry of Sonship Lifestyle, www.sonshiplifestyle.com.